to take a little bit of the time of the show and pretty much just tell you everything that I had an issue with. So the whole point of Spilled Soup is to take a couple things here or there throughout the week or last couple days, whatever the case may be. It's kind of voice my frustration. And if you're a fan of the show and you're on YouTube, especially, and you're commenting, you tend to get a lot of my comments in there, which I encourage you get on, be a part of it when it's live, hit the like button, share it to your friends, but get into the comments. It's a lot of fun. But sometimes, man, when I drive to and from work, I get those nice man-hour shorts when I can't watch the whole thing, and I just get so frustrated. I shouldn't have road rage in the car when it has nothing to do with the cars in the street. Okay, Buck. Sometimes the things that are said give me enough road rage. So that's the whole point of Spilled Soup, just to give you a little tidbit of my frustration as I spill it out there for you. So I've got a couple this week. That's for sure.
Just a couple. So we're doing something right. We were starting to get on your good side. I mean, it's not like a laundry list of things. It's just a couple. So what's the first thing that you want to spill about?
Well, so I'm going to go to actually one of the shorts that you put out there, and I actually didn't have this coming into today, so I thought the list was going to be kind of short with some stuff, and then, well, Buck, seeing you're running solo tonight, I guess you have to be the target. It just happened to be that way. But I heard this amazing clip about the Steelers, and you got into the Pittsburgh Steelers, which we all know, throw a freaking dart at the board at what type of team you're going to get, right? We don't really know what's going on. It's obvious Big Ben is at the end of his career. And you started breaking down the Big Ben analysis and what the Steelers need to do. And I was with you. I actually agreed with you. Hey, you drafted Najee Harris in the first round for a reason. Get him in there. Get that run game going. Make that your identity. Stop putting it on the back of the old man. Throwing the ball. Let him be more strategic when you use him. Crowd the box. You were saying everything great. And then you brought up the focus of Big Ben being, I believe it was 19 for 19 in all short passes, anything under 10 yards.
Yeah.
And I thought, great. Okay. He's Bucks getting this. Jam it down their throats with Najee. Let Ben go out there, swing out some passes, make some big plays. And then you started to criticize it. And I was trying to figure out what the criticism was going to be. And you stated, do it differently. Let Big Ben throw the ball further down the field, 20 to 30 yards. And the statement that came out of your mouth, Buck, was, we all know he's probably the best quarterback in the AFC North that can throw the ball 20 to 30 yards down the field.
Yep.
And I waited and I said, okay, breathe, Soup Boss. Take a breath. Why do you think this, Buck? And Buck, I've already come on the show and just one Spilled Soup thing and talked about the aspect of looking up analytics and data and everything like that. So I said, I'm going to give him his chance here to kind of do something. Well, I think your camera went out there, buddy. So
Yep.
I guess you might be afraid of me.
No.
So your statements were, he's the best because Joe Burrow, I mean, he's doing a lot better, but
Right.
I mean, come on. That was your Lamar Jackson. We all know he's just, it's just not that good. And then Baker Mayfield, we really don't know what you're going to get from him. So obviously, Ben Roethlisberger is the best at throwing it 20 to 30 yards. You can't give three statements about the three other quarterbacks that are going to be ranking against Ben Roethlisberger in this situation and just go, well, I mean, come on, like we all know, like Lamar Jackson isn't that good. Could you imagine being defended by a lawyer in the court of law, Buck, and you are sitting there and your lawyer looks at the judge and goes, well, let me tell you something. My defendant here, Mr. Buck, is a outstanding member of society because, as we know, the Combs, who's standing out there in the street, I mean, come on. We all know. I mean, he's not as good as he is. I mean, come on. Like, case closed, perfect condition. What type of analysis was that, Buck?
So
Really?
in my defense, my notepad crashed right before that segment, and I was trying to repopulate it, but I do have the statistics now because once I restarted my computer, it was there. So passes down the field that is 15 yards plus, under 30 yards in the air, over 15 yards in the air. Big Ben has a 68% completion percentage when passing the ball over 15 yards in the air. Everybody else in the NFC North, that's Joe Burrow,
AFC North.
Lamar Jackson, and Baker, they are all under 63%. So which Baker Mayfield is the best at 63, Lamar Jackson is 47.5, and Joe Burrow.
We all know he's good.
Well, and then Joe Burrows is actually the lowest at 45%. So those were the stats that I wanted to put in there, but in my defense, my notepad broke, and I probably should have, saved it and not just relied on, autosave, right? So the stats are there that Big Ben historically can throw the ball further down the field more accurately at a more consistent pace.
So are those numbers historical numbers, or are those numbers this year or last year, like recent data?
That is career.
That is career. Okay.
Career.
So here's where I'm going to pick. First off,
I agree with you on that. Yep.
Bring some soup in. Kudos to you for actually backing up with some data, because I sat there and watched that short and I was like, what the hell, Buck? This is the most. Well, my feelings say this about this player, and it didn't work. But here's my problem with looking at career. You're looking at a dude way late in his career who is a Hall of Fame long-time quarterback who's got a lot more to go by, who has a lot more success than guys like Joe Burrow and Baker Mayfield and Lamar
16
Jackson.
years versus 2 years,
16,
right? I mean,
right, exactly.
Right.
So that's like, for instance, in Sports Soup, someone was posting about Kirk Cousins and how since last year, how he ranks in the top 10 of all of these stats, and it was like 4th, 5th, 6th. And I said, that shows to me why Kirk Cousins right now is a top 10 quarterback. He's not your MVP. He's a top 10 quarterback. People were losing their mind. They're like, he's better than Ben Roethlisberger? Yeah, right now, he's better than Ben Roethlisberger, because we're not talking about Ben Roethlisberger 15 years ago. That's a different story. And your aspect of how you're rating the Steelers right now is saying, right now, throw Najee in there and let Big Ben throw it down the field. I'm sorry, man. This is where I'm going to actually have to pull your card and say the eye test should tell you everything. And we have to look up the data, I think, for the past year and a half, because Ben Roethlisberger is falling over his own feet. He's trying to throw it 10 yards, and he's literally like, I swear he had a heart attack in one of the games and fell on his face. Didn't even put his hands out to stop himself. Like, I thought he broke his neck
I thought he was
trying
dead.
to throw the ball.
Yeah.
I thought he was dead. I thought he died. It is so different. When you sit there and watch it, Joe Burrow, okay, he's still coming into himself. And I'm still not like this hardcore like Cincinnati's in. I think their record does not show exactly what type of team they are, kind of like the Broncos with their 3-0 start. But still, Burrow throws a beautiful ball down the field. He's got his buddy Chase down there. He's already hit him on multiple deep throws that are so accurate into the tee. That's why they went and drafted him. Should have drafted him some O-line help, but still, that makes a lot of great completions down the field. The peanut butter to his jelly, or the peanut butter to his ladies right there, and that completion. The only one I will give you credit for, because even Baker, to me, throws better downfield when he's not feeling stressed that he has to throw it to Odell Beckham Jr. I think we can table that to the side. Take out the OBJ stuff. He's way better. With Landry and some of his tight ends, way better down the field than, except for when he forces it. The one I will agree with you on, just to piss off a lot of people, is even right now, I would trust Ben Roethlisberger throwing it deeper down the field than I would Lamar Jackson. I am just not sold on Lamar Jackson being a top quarterback in this league. He is a great running back who happens to play quarterback and has had some great flashes of success. I know he won an MVP, but I think he won an MVP because he caught people by surprise. He blew people away. But once people started studying him, it's been shown that every time he's had to play with a deficit, minus that Colts game, he just doesn't know what to do. His accuracy is terrible. It wobbles. It's no good. But right now, you cannot say today the Pittsburgh Steelers game plan is to let Ben Roethlisberger throw it to 20, 30 yards on your field. You're way off with that and
Well,
saying that there's no better quarterback in the AFC North to do that. I would give it to almost all of them to do it over Ben Roethlisberger today.